Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure to welcome you to this special broadcast today. I'm here to address fundamentally uh, the protest being led by one Akim Okunlowo in Finland, asking that the Finland government should arrest and apprehend Simon Ekpa. Let me ask him just few fundamental questions. If he truly claims to be a Nigerian, are you not tired of what is happening in Nigeria? Are you proud of what is going on in Nigeria, the economic buhaha disaster? There is insecurity across the nations, across every part of the country. So, which one are you not happy with? Does that make you proud? You're a Nigerian without prospect, without future. What prospect does the country you claim you are a citizen host for you? If he has a better prospect and future, I believe you shouldn't have contemplated fleeing the shores of this country, possibly through the Sahara regions, the desert. And today you are saying you are in Nigeria. What a shame. What prospects of future does Nigeria host for you? Of course, by his name, from the southwest, I may want to ask him, as he rightly claimed, that the sit at home in the eastern region of Nigeria is affecting the entire country. Will possibly plunge Nigeria into chaos. I may want to ask him the first question: which part of Nigeria today is safe? He's making reference to southeast, but what is happening in the southwest? Is southwest safe? Which part of Nigeria can you say is safe, that the safety of the people can be guaranteed, the life and safety or property of the Nigerian people are secured? Name any part of the country or the region of this country. Unfortunately, this man, Akin Okunlowo, is living in self-denial or self-deception, as the case might be. You cannot just be beating about the bush. You should be in a better position to tell the Finland government what is happening in Nigeria. But unfortunately, the Finland government understood the true positions of events and the happenings within the same country you claim to be your own. Of course, if Nigeria is working as you are, even by your disposition, you should not be in Finland, leaving your beards white, unshaved. You should have been in Nigeria, working in Nigeria, having better prospects in Nigeria than going to serve another man. How many of the Finlands are Finnish citizens are in Nigeria working? Instead of working in Nigeria and you went to Finland. It is quite unfortunate and disgusting that even those who, by their age, uh, should inform wisdom are disappointing even the younger ones. It's quite unfortunate. I'm so disappointed. Well, I'm not surprised because we have seen his lies in the most recent times. So that doesn't make any difference. But I just want to, expose the level of insensitivity and the inability to understand what is happening in this country. I am not saying this because I'm a supporter of Simon Ekpa, self-acclaimed Prime Minister of uh, pro-Biafran agitator movement. No, I am saying it in the interest of humanity. I'm saying this in the interest of honesty, integrity, justice, and fairness to all. The Finland you went to protest, the police of the Finnish police gave you security. You enjoy security or protection of the security operatives over there. Can such be replicated here in Nigeria? Even when people lifted up just placards and were asking for just good governance and an end to the brutality on the part of the security operatives against the Nigerian citizens, they were shot, several of them. And there has been, of course, a recurrent incidents that testify to this truth. Even the government does not respect its own courts, the rulings or the injunction of its own courts. There have been several injunctions or rulings regarding the most controversial leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Mazin Nnamdi Kanu, of recent, after following the extraordinary renditions and which violate his fundamental right of movements. Being that he traveled with a British passport, being a British citizen, but unfortunately, I will leave that for another day. He was extraordinary rendition back to Nigeria, which is just an adoption, a kidnapping, because a British citizen with a British passport cannot be renditioned. His own right of movements and rights of association should not be denied. It is quite unfortunate that we are experiencing such within the Nigerian state. And I have not seen the likes of Akin or Kunwolo or Okulo or whatever he calls himself to condemn such dastard acts. Even the court, Nigerian court, have indicted Nigeria for such acts and ordered the government to compensate the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra and release him unconditionally. I don't know if Mr. Akim or whosoever he calls himself, Akim Lowo, is aware of the court judgment on the 13th of October 2022. This is just one of those verdicts that was given. And yet, the government of Nigeria is yet to comply to this order or the court ruling of his own jurisdiction. What is the court's verdict? The court struck out the 16 count charges, which has been amended more than 7 times within the shortest possible time, and yet the government of Nigeria and its her legal councils could not establish or substantiate their claim against Mazin Nandekano, the allegations bordering on terrorism and, of course, treason offenses. Now, the court argued and came to conclusion and gave a verdict that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, who has been alleged of several count charges, was innocent of those charges because the government and her legal councils could not establish any case against Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. To this end, the court, in in her wisdom, and of course, power vested on it, declared Mazen Nnamdi Kanu acquitted and discharged, and ordered the Nigerian government to compensate him and release him unconditionally. This is in a democratic state, a state that claims to be democratic in nature, but in practice is denying the reality. Had Akim asked why is almost the entire region of this country on fire, go to this north central, see what is happening, the genocide that is ongoing. Go to the northeast. Where is left? Is it the southwest? Where most of the Yoruba indigenes have fled their ancestral homes, which I strongly believe that Akim Okunlowo is in the know that more than of 2 million people fled their homes. Some who were not fortunate were killed. Their homes were destroyed. I think you should listen to Amayogu Diary, which is from the southwest, and be tutored on the current happenings within this country. I'm saddened because humanity has been brought to its lowest ebb. I'm saddened because the uncertainty, of course, the air of uncertainty inspires nothing but despair. People has lost confidence in the Nigerian project. Even the aftermath of the election, presidential election, is another score, another evidence that attests to the lawlessness of the Nigerian state, the inability to comply with the procedures or comply with the rules of engagement. And the same Akin, whatever he calls himself, is aware that people are dying on a daily basis. Plateau has been turned to genocidal field. Look at what is happening in Kaduna. Look at what is happening in Benue. Are they from the southeast? Where scores, hundreds of supposed Nigerian citizens are being killed, even without the security operatives going after the perpetrators of this crime, heinous crime. Of most recent, we saw what happened in the southwest, where one of the churches were blown up, and up till now, the perpetrators of such heinous crime has not been apprehended to serve as a deterrent. So if you are hiding under any disguise or any cover, citing the southeast, you should be more bothered about the southwest, because most of the Fulani militias or all these hooligans have overrun most of the regions in the south. Of most recent is the Ondo communities. Some communities on the Ondo are been mourning. They are crying helplessly for because of what is going on. How can you be dead in silence and you're only bothered about the Southeast, about Simon Ekpa? I'm not his supporter, I'm not his fan, but I am telling you the truth of what is happening. Simon Ekpa is not responsible for what is happening in the Southwest. He's not responsible for the killings in Black Plateau. Neither is he responsible for the genocide going in southern Kaduna. Neither is he responsible for the killings in Benue and every other part of the country. So what are you saying? I think he should have saved his energy and used the opportunity to speak truth to the powers that be. Speak truth to these political elites, ruling class, that have mortgaged the life and destiny of Nigerians who are being fed by our common treasury. They don't go to market. They don't know the cost of food, commodities. Everything is being provided by the state treasury that by the words of the nation, they don't know how much is fuel. They don't go to market to price for clothes with their own hard earned money. Everything is being provided. Even hardship allowance is being provided for them, even when Nigerians have nothing to fall back on. Nigerians are left, ordinary Nigerians are left at the mercy of hunger, at the mercy of inflation, at the mercy of catastrophe, at the mercy of death. You have the so-called representatives budgeting for hardship allowance without having any recourse on the pains and agonies of the Nigerian populace. Of recent, you see how the government increased the salaries of the presidential and the states or whatever, the politicians to 114%. How much attention have been paid to the nagging issues and wages, of course, bordering on wages and the welfare packages of the Nigerian workers? When has the National Assembly discussed such? Even the 30,000 naira killing wage, because it is not minimum wage, it's a killing wage. When a wage cannot, or salary cannot sustain you, is killing you. You are being given to kill you. Nigeria has the lowest minimum wage on earth, on the surface of the earth. The lowest, 13,000 naira. It's less than $50, if I may say. Yes, it's less than $50 by the rating, by the uh, currency rating at this time. So what Nigerian government is paying or is willing to pay her own citizens as minimum wage is less than $50. It's less than $50, far less than $50. And what do you call that? Killing wage. The likes of Akin has not summed up courage to call the attention of Nigerian government that such is not obtainable in Finland, where he went to protest. Are they paying $50, less than $50 as minimum wage in Finland? Are the people over there not being taken care of? Are they not being provided for? Are the basic necessities and facilities to drive economic revival, industrial revolution in Finland? Look at Finland today. When did they have their independence? But look at Nigeria today. When did Nigeria have the independence? For the last 6 decades, Nigeria is still groping in darkness, not finding its path, not finding its path, not even at all, without any vision, without any direction. And you are blaming Simon Ekpa for the woes. What is Simon Ekpa saying? Comply to the directives or the order of the legal jurisprudence or the courts. The Nigerian government should obey their own courts. And unfortunately, if you should ask people to come out, I traveled to East for a program, for a marriage precisely. You know what happens? I just intended to stay after the wedding. The next day, I jump into the bus coming back to Lagos. I never knew that the seat at home was just something unimaginable, you know. But I experienced it, and I'm here to tell you first class information of what is going on. During the sit at home, the government, the security operatives, the government parastatals, workers, schools, banks, commuters, transporters, everybody shut down. There was no movement. And we are in the Finland protesting. You should have gone to the southeast and called the people out that they just go about their legitimate duties, that they will be protected by you or whosoever you think can give such protection. It's quite unfortunate. Such people should shut their mouth and close their faces in shame. You refuse to speak the truth. Several calls has been made in regarding the release of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. If Nigerian government have been able to substantiate their claim or allegations on against Nnamdi Kanu, they would have complied, and the court gave a, a reverse verdict. They would have complied to that immediately. But why is it that when Nigerian government loses a case, they refuse to obey the verdict or the court injunction? They will also go to the same court they neglected, they desecrated to seek for redress or to seek for a favor to punish the citizens. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense if you must build an egalitarian society, a society where there is rule of law is the fulcrum that drives even the economic process. Because investors cannot consider Nigeria as a safe haven for investment if they understood that even the industrial laws could not be respected by the Nigerian states. The laws are not respected, are not adhered to. That will be a big minus. That is why we have not attracted any multinational investment in the country. Unfortunately, those who are still left are folding up, are winding up. They are living with unimaginable speed. They are leaving the shores of this country. No wonder the government resort to borrowing because they are no longer generating of this foreign exchange or taxation from multinationals. Because if the economy is buoyant and vibrant, multinationals will come and invest and pay some tax, of course, to the Nigerian government, and there will be no need to go and be seeking for who to borrow, to take bonds and loans that will mortgage the destiny or the life of upon Nigerians in the next 50 or more years. So these are fundamental issues. Can we continue to live in denial? No. Can a king Okulowo or whatever he called himself walk on the streets of his, if actually I don't know what, if he can be bold to tell us where he come from, the state in the southwest, can he freely walk on the streets without being apprehensive of the Fulani herders or any other militias or bandits coming after him? What has he done regarding his own people that fled their ancestral homes, that their house and their farms has been destroyed, and yet nothing has been done to bring them back? Ever since they left Benin Republic, most of them are now in refugees in another man's country. And he's proud to say, I'm a Nigerian. What makes you a Nigerian? What makes you a Nigerian? Can you be bold to stand where a Finnish citizen says, I'm a Finnish citizen, or I'm an American citizen, or I'm a British citizen? It is quite a shame. It is the most ridiculous personality I have ever seen, honestly. Well, let me leave you with that, and let's see what is your own reaction and comment via the comment section. I would want to appreciate you if this is your first time watching us here in Corewave TV. And please, if you are yet to subscribe to our channel, please kindly do so now. Let me give you just a few seconds. Just look at the subscription button. Just press it, hit it. Yes, hit it. It's just free. You don't need to pay anything. But that is a way of ensuring that videos, of course, get to more viewers who want to understand, of course, the unbiased reportage of events as is in the hot here in Nigeria. We keep, of course, you abreast with the happenings as we continue to follow up events as they continue to unfold. Meanwhile, remain blessed and good night until the next edition.